said. They said that you cannot solve the problems at the same level of your thinking at which it has been generated. You need to enhance your thinking to the next level so that you are being able to resolve such sort of that issues and challenges over there. So one of the things in which we have to talk about what mindset has been required, in which we can talk about. The second thing in the productivity is very, very important, how we can best utilize our time resource. So each one of us, we are being given the same quota of time. How can we best utilize that? What is the thing in which we can generate the maximum amount of result in the minimal amount of time? So this is the two topics. This is a make list of all the tasks. For example, I'm going to talk about what you can say a master list, and there are two domains in which you can make it your list. Number one, this is a list of all your professional tasks. So first of all, log it down, all of your professional tasks, whatsoever these tasks are, write it down. So make a one journal, irrespective of it is a big, it is a small, it is medium, whatsoever, write it down, all the tasks, what you are being expected to do, required to do, dream to do, list it down, all the tasks. This is your master list in which you are going to list down all the tasks over here. The second aspect is you can make a separate list of all the things, all of your expectation which is required in your family time, in your personal life, whatsoever the tasks are required, just write it down. So the same principles applied over there. First of all, make a master list of document, master list of those tasks which you require to be done. Now the question is, when you look into that, because my scope is now to talk about on the professional one, so let's look into that, let's focus onto it. The question is, when you look into these tasks, how much number of time is available for us? Now if you see, if I have to complete all of these tasks, might be the day with the 24 hours is not sufficient for myself, because in this instance maybe I'm just going to complete few of them, I'm not being able to do all of them. So what is the best practice what we have to do? Of course the answer is very clear, that we have to segregate, and there's no rocket science is available. We have to identify out of this task which of these tasks are more critical for myself, more important for myself, more impactful for myself. So we have to apply one of the criteria, one of the interesting thing which I'm going to write it down. This is called a very interesting aspect. I'm going to write it down for you. This is called an ABCD method. A, B, C, D method. This is a method you can apply to this list, and then you can generate the results. Now, look into that. What is A stand for? A stand for those tasks in the list which is you must do, which is your must do, which you cannot avoid, which have the maximum impact, which have the maximum return, which gives you the maximum of the contribution you can make. So you have to identify. So for example, you say, all right, this task, this task, this task is my must do list. So you can pull up onto that. A is your A category task is your must do list. Now what is your B? B task fall into your should do list. Should do. All right, these are not your must do, but there are some of the tasks which you can put it under your should do list, and then you identify, all right, this one and this one and this one comes under the should do list. Then there is the C. C is actually stand for where you say these are the tasks which are nice to do, not essential to do, not must to do, but these are nice to do. All right, even if you can ignore some of them, that is not that much impact. Basically, they are nice to do. And you can actually categorize onto that. You can make your own category. What exactly fall under your must? What exactly fall under your should? Because it varies from person to person. And what exactly is nice to do. And when you look into the D part and you identify what is a D stand for, and then you identify D is actually your don't do list. Don't do. Mean that these are some of the tasks, even if you ignore them or if you delete them out of your list, it does not have any impact. Or the least, if there are some of the tasks which you are doing, deleting over here, still they are being required to do, you can delegate some of these tasks over here to the people or the persons which you can hire them to do that task, because the most important part is in every instance we must have to be value that what is my per hour rate. I think I've talked about that we have to look into that aspect with very much criticality. For example, I say that for example, let's take if how we can calculate our per hour rate. For example, if some person has 20,000 of his salary per month, then you have to identify that how many number of hours which are being required in order to per month. So for example, if we say that we are being required each month 8 5 4 4 4 16 160, so we divide this 160 hours with the salary, and then you can see, all right, what is the value we can get. That will define my per hour rate. This define my per hour rate. So when I define my per hour rate, I have to see that what are the things which I can do under must do or should do, which actually justify my per hour rate, which I'm being actually extracting out of at the workplace. Very important thing, my dear friend. We have to identify that if my having an X amount of value, which I'm been taking as my salary as an income, and if I'm been generating 2x of my value or 3x of my value, or we are talking about right now 100x of our value, we are more productive, we are more impactful, and this is a job we have to do. What are my must do, should do, nice to do, and don't do, and then we have to identify what is my per hour rate, and we can match onto that what are the activities I can perform which can actually fulfill those requirements.